Everybody, welcome to another edition of the Release Radar, where, of course, we typically would be together, Chase and I, presenting to you all the new releases that dropped this week, all the massive ones. Obviously, there's tons of stuff going on in the background. Luckily, we were able to get a short recording from Chase just to prove that he's alive. He has actually been traveling to Sydney. He gallivants across the globe. He has quite the jet setter lifestyle. But let's take a listen to whatever Chase recorded here. I didn't even proof it, so let's see what we got.
Hey everyone, Chase from HighLevel here, and unfortunately I am traveling back from our event in Australia, so I'm going to miss this week's episode of the Release Radar again. I know, I'm so disappointed, but I know that Ryan will hold it down. So I hope you all had a great week. I know I saw a lot of really cool releases roll through our release channel in Slack, so you should see some exciting stuff today. But I also wanted to say, what Ryan is going to tease for you at the end of this week's episode is something that I think website builders in HighLevel are going to freak out over. It's something I've been waiting for a very long time, and it is almost ready. So stay tuned to the end. Hope you have a great weekend. I'll see y'all next.
All right, and with that, we will enter the matrix here and get into the upcoming releases. In case you were wondering, today is March or May. It's not even March, is it? It's May 30th. So another month done, coming up very soon on the rest of it. So with that, we will go to our very first slide, which is going to be our new Summer of AI offer for agency owners. You're going to see this if you haven't logged into your agency view of the dashboard. You'll see that lined up right there for you with all the details. The basics are, hey, you can offer Summer of AI, which is the entire employee AI employee suite, conversation AI, voice AI, content AI, all the plethora of products that we have built into HighLevel to make your lives much easier, to ultimately make you more money. That's the whole point of anything that we do, and we want to prove it to you. So during the entire summer, up to I believe it is September 1st, the sub accounts will be able to enable AI employee for free for 30 days. So if they choose to do it at the very end, they get 30 days. If you choose to do it right now, you get 30 days. It's a 30-day clock that starts ticking once you enable it. Agency owners have full control over this, so you can go into manage what sub accounts get what, and all the details are outlined for you right there. So go take a look at that. Pretty cool stuff. This is just showing the UI of what that looks like there. So in many cases, people are wondering, how do I figure out who gets what, and can I do some bulk actions there? You can. Just go ahead and log into your agency view, and you will see it. Next up, we have an all-in-one marketing stats update. So this was something that we struggled with for a long time too, which is you send out email campaigns, you send out workflows, and maybe you have like an entire campaign that goes through a workflow, and they're on different places. Well, now we've unified that view, so you've got some nice bar charts and graphs and everything to kind of break that up so that you can see what you're looking at. And it kind of combines all the different stats into one view. So here we're seeing, another one there. You just scroll down when you look at the statistics under email marketing, and you will see everything there. So hopefully everybody's enjoying that update. It's been very helpful for us to see an overlay of how things are performing, both in email campaigns that are scheduled and then, of course, the automated workflows. Next up, we've got the Ad Manager Settings UI revamp. So most of this has to do with organizing the way settings are laid out within Ad Manager. If you go into marketing, go into Ad Manager, you can go ahead and click through the settings there. You can see platform settings. You can look at global settings. So really just organizing all the controls for you there, so you get a nice dashboard just like the Star Trek Enterprise. Moving forward, we have now got expanded support for SMS, MMS, error codes, and workflows. So what does this really mean? Well, there are certain codes that get thrown back at us, right? And these codes can mean different things like, oh, well, maybe the A2P campaign is suspended, as you can see there. Maybe the registration is still pending. Maybe outbound messaging has been disabled. So this helps to be able to create a workflow that can then trigger different actions, like telling your customer, hey, the reason, like something failed, and here's the reason why. So you can set up these filters here to be able to trigger different workflow actions based on the error code. So for the folks that deal a lot with phone, particularly at scale, I think this will be very, very helpful in just keeping everybody educated and aware of what's happening, why there are errors, and that, of course, it's not your fault. There's other things down the line that we may have forgotten about, or just need to get corrected. Moving forward, we have got the affiliate dashboard revamp. Now, this is for HighLevel's own affiliate program. So if you're in the agency dashboard, in the agency view, I should say, there's now a brand new, beautiful looking affiliate dashboard, which gives you a lot more details. It's laid out in a way that is a lot more compelling for getting the steps done, things that you need to do, and outlines the entire offer there for you and what you can do to drive revenue through affiliate sales. So go ahead and check that out. Really love what the affiliate team's done here, working alongside with our product team. The affiliate code is now supported in in-app agency plan upgrades. So this is helpful for, in fact, we just had a question about this on a town hall recently. The affiliate team was right on it, and they were able to reach out to one of our customers. And the question was, okay, I've got somebody that's on a starter plan right now, and they're going to upgrade. They want to go full SaaS, let's say, upgrade to the 497 plan, but I want to make sure I retain that affiliate. Or maybe they weren't an affiliate before, but they heard about everything that you could do with the SaaS plan, and now they want to upgrade. They can now input your code into that upgrade flow so that you get the credit for that. So great job on that. Nice little feature to have along the way. Moving forward, we have also got a mobile app update. There's a few mobile app updates here. This one is for payments. So if you're using Square on point of sale, POS, that's what that stands for, Chase, tap to pay on iPhone now works. So you're welcome. Really cool to see all the integration with Square. And I know there's tons of other payment things that are coming down the line too, but this is getting better and better by the week. If you haven't checked out and you happen to use Square point of sale, check out what it can do to integrate with the mobile app. It works with the reader, with like the physical reader and everything, communicates via Bluetooth. Really easy setup flow there. I would call it Apple-esque setup flow, which are legendary for how easy and simple they are. So go check that out. Next up, we've also got the ability to create estimates using templates within the mobile app. So why would this be helpful? Well, let's say you're an electrician, and a very common thing the electricians do is they install electrical panels. And so you may call the electrician up and say, hey, I got a new EV. I want to do this. I want to do that. I bought a hot tub. I want to do solar, whatever that happens to be. But I think I might need a new electrical panel. Well, that technician's going to go out there. They'll do a little inspection, figure out it's going to need this. Maybe this needs to get upgraded to a 200 amp panel from a 100. And instead of having to take a bunch of notes, take a bunch of pictures, go back to the office and put together a big estimate for what that's going to cost, they can now use a template, use that, make little modifications as they wish, kind of tick some boxes off in that, and then they can be done with that estimate and say, hey, this is going to be about $2,000. Here it is, ready to go. And that can all be done on the go while they're there before they leave. And typically when it comes to projects like that, you're going to convert customers at a much higher rate, being able to give them all the information as quickly as possible, get the estimate into their hands, and they can make a decision to move forward or not. But the big thing there is time, right? The quicker you're getting things done, the quicker you can get on to the next thing. You're not getting backlogged on the later half of your day, and you look a lot more organized. Believe me, it is a low bar in the service industry, so it's going to be pretty easy to look great with this feature. Okay, now we got these centralized bulk updates for WordPress. This is amazing particularly if you're on the unlimited plan for WordPress hosting. So if you don't know, we provide WordPress hosting. This is powered by Rocket.net, one of the leading providers of WordPress hosting across the entire internet. We searched everywhere for the very best, and they are benchmarked across all the greats. So that's what's powering all the WordPress hosting in HighLevel. You can import WordPress sites from your clients into HighLevel, host it there. You can mark it up, make some money if you want. It could be a pass-through thing. You decide what you want to do with it. But the big ticket item here is that when you've got a lot of sites that are all lined up and you've got to do maintenance, it's kind of a pain to go into each one and say, okay, click here, update these plugins, back this up, do this. Oop, PHP needs to get upgraded to 8.2. I'm not sure where we're in 7.4 here. I feel like we're on PHP 8.2 now. Anyway, the whole point here is that you can do that in bulk. So you can select the sites that are all there and say, hey, time to upgrade PHP. Let's rock and roll. Time to clear cache on these particular sites. I want to update the themes. I want to update the plugin versions and so forth. So all that makes managing and maintaining WordPress websites, which does take some work, does take a little bit of manual action just by nature of that software, makes it a lot easier to do and a lot more time efficient. All right, and moving now on to the product element right within email templates. So this is super, super helpful when you want to highlight a specific product. Let's say that you're having a sale on widgets and you want to highlight that widget in an email. You can now include this beautiful looking product element right within your email. And I'm realizing now that I cut off the very most important part of this image, which is the top part of it. But just go ahead and go into email templates, add the product, and you'll see what the UI of that looks like. It's kind of at the top of the screen here. You can kind of see it. Don't tell Chase I messed that one up. All right, and then we've now got bulk QR code creation. I should have caveated this with it's a CSV situation. So if let's say you've got a bunch of different CSV, or I'm sorry, you have a bunch of different QR codes that need to be generated for a particular sub account. Maybe there's a big promotion going on and you're going to have signs in different places and you want to track, which sign got scanned and so forth. Or, you can think of a number of situations where you'd have a lot of different variants of QR codes that you'd have in different places for different things. You can now use, of course, our template, Excel or Google Sheets template, put all the information into a spreadsheet, makes it super easy, upload it, and then all those things, all those QR codes can get generated in bulk. So you don't have to go through and click if you're doing like 50 of them. So big time saver there. Affiliate Manager got a bunch of upgrades this week, actually. This one is for moving affiliates to another campaign. So let's say you've got an affiliate, maybe it was a mistake and they're in a certain campaign, but that's not something they really promote. You can now move them to another one with ease without having to like delete them and then add them to another one and make it making sort of a cumbersome process. It is no longer cumbersome. It is very straightforward and to the point. The mobile app got a huge upgrade for the call UI. So UI, for some people have asked me this, and maybe we just got a little too deep into the jargon. UI is user interface. So that's the prettiness of it. And so this got a lot prettier. And you could also argue that the UX or user experience was also improved as well, because now during the call, you get a bunch of these cool new actions like accessing schedule and calendars, activating D&D directly from the call screen. So you pick up and you're like, oh, it's a spam bot. Click the button, automatic D&D there. You could take notes, you can create and manage tasks. I mean, what else do you want in here? This is beautiful. So go ahead and make sure that your mobile app is updated. If you don't have it, what are you doing? Download the mobile app. And then go ahead and test out some calls with it. This can take some time to kind of get through the App Store. I haven't done the update on my phone quite yet. Been a busy morning, but go ahead and check that out. If it's not there yet, it'll be there within a day or two. Just keep hitting that refresh button like we all do. And then I should also mention the right-hand side of the screen here. This is after a call ends. So the call ends and you're like, hey, oh shoot, I want to like add some notes here, or I want to tag this person, or I want to message them and do a follow-up, or I want to look at their profile. All those options appear at the very bottom of the screen, as you can see, when you're finished with a call. Now we have, let's see, we've got support for mobile or support for multiple products in payment links. This is another big ask from the community. Another great example of how you guys ask, you tell us something doesn't work the way that you want it to. You want to expand functionality somewhere, and we listen, and then we just deliver it. It's really easy. And so now, when you're creating payment links, on the left-hand side, there's an option there to hit Add Product. And so now there can be multiple products within one payment link. So super helpful there. If you want to create a quick bundle, or somebody wants like 2 or 3 items, you can create multiple of them there. Send them the payment link. No need to generate a funnel and an order form and all these things. It just automatically works and looks very beautiful indeed. Ecommerce got an update for accessing abandoned carts. So previously we had this functionality where you'd have to be on the same device and like go back to the website, and then it would like register with cookies like, oh, this is this person, or this is the session that they had on the site. That doesn't work very well if you have multiple devices, which many people do. You got an iPad, you got a phone, you got a computer, whatever it happens to be. So now we can do a couple really cool things, because we have links. So we can send them links, which I guess would be the primary use case here. So you can send them a follow-up email that's not just like, oh, go back to the site, and like hopefully you do it on the right device. But now we can just include a link in there that goes right to the website, and then on our server side, all the magic that happens there says, oh yeah, this is the exact cart. This is the exact customer and the cart that they had, and it makes sure that that is viewable to the customer, so that they don't have to click a bunch of buttons and go to different devices in order to get the products that they, of course, want. Moving on to funnels and websites, a couple really big updates here. The first one being the autosave toggle. So this was a feature that got released fairly recently, I'd say within the past couple of weeks, where we enabled autosave. So if you're familiar with almost any other software on the planet where you do editing, there's autosave features. So anytime you do anything, it's constantly like save, 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 save. Well, that's really helpful for a lot of people. But some people don't really want to do that. They want to make incremental updates to their website or whatever they're working on. So we now gave you the ability to turn it off. So that way you can kind of be in control of like, no, I want to work on it, and then I want to save a version, and I want to be able to revert back to specific versions. We'd call these type of people like type A. But anyway, these options are now available to you in the autosave. This is at the very top right-hand or top left-hand corner, I should say, of the funnel and website builder. So go ahead and check that out. You might need to click on the button that says autosave in order to see this option, but it will be there. The next update for funnels and websites is the auto scroll on drag near screen edges. So the English version of this would be, when you drag it down, it's going to notice like, oh, he's trying to go down. And then it will scroll the page, and that makes it a lot easier for moving elements from the top of the page to the bottom without having to click into the sidebar sort of outline view and find that element. Makes it a lot easier. So this would be an example of a UX improvement. Moving on to listings. There's a bunch of things that happens with listings. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through a couple of them. Publisher sorting in scan. So previously what was happening was, when you would go to scan a business in the listings module, the listings area of the app, you would see a bunch of different publishers. So these would be like data sources, things like Yelp and other things like that. A lot of those weren't really relevant, particularly in different geographical regions. So what we did is we updated that so that the sorting makes a lot more sense for the specific business that's there, wherever they're located. We also improved some key field validations. So this way, when you're actually inputting data into different fields, it just makes a lot more sense. It's much easier to use. And then the categories update as well. Updated the internal categories reporting to reflect the latest categories provided by our listings provider. So what that really means is that you're not going to see any outdated categories like, I don't know, horseshoe repair person. I don't know. I'm clinging at straws there, but I think you get the idea that sometimes there's some fax machine repair person, right? That would be a little bit outdated. So we'll have the most current categories according to all the major providers that we use to aggregate that data. Listings also got some increased business category limit. So a lot of times you get into a situation where businesses, you see this a lot in service industries, right? So you've got like, oh, they do air conditioning and heating and plumbing and some electrical on the side and maybe a shoe shine. So now we've got expanded support for that. So the previous limit was 3 and now we've got 10. So go wild. Bulk actions for affiliate commissions. This was another affiliate manager upgrade, update, refresh. You can now adjust the affiliate commissions for multiple affiliates at the same time. This helps if you got like a policy change or you want to change a couple things around, or you got a couple, really high tier affiliates and you negotiated a new commission structure for them. You can now change those in bulk now. Let's see here. Reconnect flow for calendar integrations. This is a little bit more of a UI, like nice to have thing. Basically what happens here is that when there are problems with calendars, which inevitably there are because we're connecting to third parties, sometimes there's a security problem and they revoke access to all the third parties, or it's been too long. So there's a lot of things that are out of our control, but what we do control is how you reconnect and how easy that is to kind of get everything back synced up. So the first step is that we have a new banner that's going to go across the top of the screen. That's when you're in calendars that says, hey, this is your calendar integration has got a problem. Fix this. Click on fix this. You're going to get this nice little modal that pops up, and it will tell you the exact calendars that became disconnected. There'll be a very easy button there to click called Reconnect, which predictably will reconnect the integration, and you won't have any problems, at least for a period of time. So it'll fix the issue really easily. Won't have to contact support or do any of that. All right, so this is another big one. Probably should have put this with the other funnel and website builder upgrades, but this is a labs feature, so you will have to enable this. Brand new UI for the sidebar in the funnels and websites builder. So if you're editing a page within funnels or websites, this is what you're going to see. You kind of have to play with it to see how cool it is. But I think the big thing here is that we're reorganizing things. And although it does interrupt some current muscle memory, this is going to get applied sort of across the board. So it'll be worth it. But being able to expand all of the different options at once, a much more modern look, it should be a lot easier to sort of navigate that and understand what you're doing, and the different elements that you're working between. Great job on that one. Here's a little bit of a nerdy one, but we did a bunch of things to increase the front end, which is sort of what the user sees. If you don't know what front end is, it's basically what you see on the website, the performance of that. And one of the key considerations for performance is how much memory it uses. If you've ever looked at Chrome in particular, I feel like the web browsers in general are very memory hungry. And so if you have a computer, your users have a computer that doesn't have a ton of memory, it can really slow things down because it's having to use virtual memory and do all these crazy things and tricks in the background, and it stresses the computer out. Battery life goes down. It relates to, what it culminates in is a bad user experience across the board. So that's why these things are super important. But we reduced the memory consumption, which we have to consume some, but we reduced it by 73.5%. I did the math myself. It checks out. So that should equate to faster app loading, faster interactions with things, and not stressing out your computer too much, which of course we wouldn't want to do. Manual product sorting has come to the product list page for ecom stores. So, if you don't know, you can take products that are within HighLevel, you can publish them onto an e-commerce store. So we actually have like an ecom tab there, and you can create your store, and then you choose what products are in there. One of the challenges that we had there is like, how do we sort these things? And so now we've got sorting functionality that's built right in there, so you should be good to go. Next up, we have got higher quality voices added to voice AI agents. I would say most of the voices in here are very, very high quality. It's not as though we just throw whatever we want in here, but we've got a number of new ones. Let's see if they told me in the notes how many. Uh, Crystal clear voice synthesis. Wow, ultra low latency and enhanced naturalness. I don't know if that's a word, but these voices should be expressive, low latency, which means they're quick. They're much more human-like, which, depending on your point of view, might be scary. It might be really exciting. So hopefully it doesn't scare you too much. But we got a number of them that dropped in here. It looks like 15 plus. So could be 16, could be 50. Don't know, but go and check it out. That's going to be in the voice AI, voice agents settings. Moving on to conversation AI, we now have an auto follow-up action. This is insanely cool. So let's say you've got a customer that comes in and they use a chat widget on the site, or maybe they text you, whatever channel you've connected conversation AI to, and they're having a conversation with the bot or whatever, and then they just ghost the bot. Well, in some cases, in fact, I'd probably say in most, they got busy, right? Like there's things happening all the time. We're all pretty busy all the time, and we get distracted easily too, myself included. So I'll put my phone down, go make some toast for the kids, or do whatever, and then I'll forget all about like this awesome grill that I wanted to buy. So what's going to happen here is that there's a number of settings that you can go through. You just check them out there in Conversation AI under the bot goals. And the idea here is that the bot will follow up if it hasn't heard from the customer in a long time, instead of just ignoring them. So this provides a much more natural sales process, right? Like, of course, if you're a real human and you're interacting with someone and you're like, okay, they stopped responding, but like maybe in an hour or two, I might just like follow back up with them, or maybe in 20 minutes, whatever you want to do with it. So that's the idea here. It is a labs feature as well, so you will need to go into labs to enable it. We really want to push a lot more of these types of things into labs, so that the folks that want to play around with all the cool stuff and kind of push it to the limit and understand they could break a couple things here and there, they can do that. But for the other people that want to play it safe, they can wait for it to come out of labs when maybe a couple little improvements have been made to it. So go ahead and check that out. Next up, we've got auto submission of A2P campaigns upon brand approval. If you've done anything with A2P, I think this is kind of one of those annoying things that you get the campaign approved, and then you get the brand approved, and then you forget, like, oh shoot, I forgot to submit for the campaign, so I can't do these campaigns yet. So now that will automatically happen. Campaigns are now submitted automatically as soon as the associated brand is approved. So basically, no user action is required unless, of course, there's some problem with the campaign, which we'll let you know about. But this is going to make it a lot easier for making sure you don't forget to cross a T when you're setting up A2P registration. And this is related to phone numbers. If you don't know what A2P is, it's when you buy a phone number, you've got to register this thing called A2P, which stands for Application to Person, People. And that's just a regulatory thing that we've got to do, and this makes it easier. All right, we can now delete individual or entire recurring posts set up in Social Planner. So here, if you've got a bunch of recurring posts that are happening, and maybe you go back and you're like, this type of post is not doing that well, I just want to delete the entire thing. Or maybe it's just this one post in here that I want to delete. Now you have the option to toggle that button when you go to delete a particular post. And this works in the calendar view as well as sort of the list view of the post that you have. Advanced CSV for bulk scheduling in Social Planner. If you work with a ton of social planner stuff and you're pumping out a lot of content for your clients, this is something that you're going to be really excited about. So advanced CSV, basically you can create this spreadsheet that has a list of all the different social posts that you're going to do, links to where the images are, all in tons of settings about each post. The advanced CSV is taking our sort of current version of that, which is fairly robust, but not super in depth in terms of all the features that we have. It's expanding that so that you can now upload a new type of CSV that has a lot more fields and a lot more settings in there. You can configure that in the spreadsheet where it's fairly easy to edit and go through, upload that, and we've got a whole new process for that to highlight if there's any errors, anything that you can do to correct it. So for all the advanced social planner folks out there, go ahead and check out the advanced CSV for bulk scheduling, and I think that you will be pleasantly surprised. I don't believe this is in labs. I think this is live for everybody. You just need to select the advanced CSV option. Documents and contracts got an exciting update for signature type. So signature type would be like, do you want them to draw their signature or do you want them to type it? Now you can enforce what that is. So you can force them that I want them to type it, or you can say, no, I want a drawing. I don't think any of my drawings have looked anything like my signature. I usually just kind of squiggle, but I think it counts. So let me know what you think. All right. I think it has come to that time in the show, as I can see from my presenter controls, for some totally excellent upcoming releases. I think this is the second appearance of Wayne's World, but it is one of my favorite movies. So if you haven't ever watched that, it's a good flick. All right. What have we got here? Well, I know what we have. We don't have Chase to wonder, but he did tease one at the beginning of the presentation. The first one, though, is gift cards. Gift cards are coming to HighLevel. I've seen the UI. I've seen it work. I've seen the prototypes. And man, does it look juicy. Really nice layout. Great UI UX. Really easy to use. Very clear what you're doing. And the whole idea here is that you can create gift cards and create redemption paths for those gift cards right within the HighLevel. This will probably tie into a similar type of feature, which is like a rewards program, like a loyalty program too, that can get deployed for sub accounts. So be on the lookout for that. There will be some really, really cool things here, but gift cards are a huge, huge use case. Tons of businesses use them. Obviously, really great for a lot of different reasons. If you want to dive deep on gift cards, look up the story about I'm blanking. Oh, it's a very small company called Starbucks. I believe Starbucks is like one of the largest banks in the world. Just if you take into account the balances that are held on gift cards. So interesting little rabbit hole to go down. If you need some light reading this weekend, go look up banks, money, gift cards, Starbucks. And there's some interesting data there, particularly from a financials reporting standpoint. All right, and this is what Chase was super excited about. We've now got nested row and columns. I should have said rows and columns. This unlocks a huge, huge gap, restraint that we had within the builder. Being able to nest things within a section, so you can now have a row within a row. And that opens up a lot of different layout options and flexibility and all those adjectives to describe how amazing it is. So if you haven't checked this out, well, of course, you wouldn't have checked it out because this is the first time you're seeing it. But very soon you'll be able to play with this. I'm very sure this will be a labs feature to begin with because it's pretty advanced. But for those of you that build websites and you're like, man, I really wanted to be able to nest this stuff together so that I can create the layout that I want, you will be able to do that very soon. So this is just a small GIF of a very long video that went through the entire thing. So props to the team for getting this done. It is like functional. This isn't like a prototype. This is like actually working right now. So hopefully they get through some QA and get us off to the races soon so that you guys can play with it and build some incredible looking websites. With that, I am out of breath. I miss Chase tremendously. I hope he comes back soon. He is flying right now over an ocean of some kind. So at any rate, we'll wish him well. And I'm going to send you guys off with all the best. Have a great, safe, fun, exciting weekend. And let's get ready to get back after it on Monday. We'll see you then. Take care, guys.